For today's cup of coffee,
Cup of coffee.
we have just watched something that was by David Lynch Theater.
What was the song?
The answers to something. I don't know what it was. He gave me no answers. It was just like, why, dear God, oh, why? Because you talk about draggy.
If it's to the point that literally I'm saying like, and like you're saying Lana Del Rey is draggy.
I mean,
no,
honestly,
she has more elements than that song.
This was one of those that it seemed like it had lasted 9 years. It became an endurance test. It was a 6-minute long something, death dirge. And I've heard death dirges that are a hell of a lot better than that. I don't know what the shit that was.
Depression.
Hey,
in a song. That's what it is.
It was just weird. And I think it's like, I don't know who David Lynch Theater is. I know who David Lynch is, and he's bizarre. If you've never seen Eraserhead, wait till this trying is over to do that, because it may push some people over the brink.
Yeah.
He's known for having some very, very bizarre shit. Twin Peaks, different things like that, and coffee slurping coming because I'm low on coffee.
He's yowling.
But it was odd.
Do you hear him yowling?
I hear it yowling. It can yowl. It's not hurting. It doesn't need anything. It has food and water in there. Everything is yowling right now. That's what it seems like. And again, this energy has just been so crazy. Crazy.
It feels volatile.
Yeah. Yeah. It really does. And the backdrop that I'm showing right now is another one of Zombie's creations, which is way cool. Mm-hmm. He is starting a store on Redbubble.
He is?
He is
Good.
Working on it. And yes. So when he gets it done, I will definitely put a link in the description box so that you all can go out and support him.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll have different posters. I don't know how long it's going to take him to get his store set up. He had on X sent notifications like that he wouldn't be doing as much of the artwork because he was working on the store.
Right. Okay.
Because me and other people's like, hey, you need to make you some coin off this.
Yeah, because he makes some pretty cool stuff.
He really does. He really does.
That's good that he's making a Redbubble.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like this design here, which is the lines and stuff like that. That would look absolutely awesome on the back of a black hoodie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that complicated.
You're doing your thing, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And the thing is with printing, now I don't know if it's the same, but when I have had things printed in the past, if you get the more colors, the higher the price of the product. Because, it only makes sense because it's more work that they have to do that. If it's screen printing type things, they have to change out all that, and it's different inks, and then they have to, it's processed.
I don't know how Redbubble's stuff is printed. I never ordered a shirt from there.
I don't either. But now I was pretty happy with the Amazon. It was always too expensive. The Amazon t-shirt that we had ordered for oldest kid. And that was one of those print to order.
Yeah.
And I was pretty happy with the quality of it. I don't know how it's going to hold up in the wash. But as far as...
Yeah, it needs to be tested out.
The ink felt good on it. It didn't feel like that kind that was going to flake off in a time or two, but we'll find out.
Right.
The t-shirt quality was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't fabulous. But,
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It truly was. But it's been a really odd day. We've had lots of them. Everybody's having some really odd days. But we had an event that happened today that some people's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Well, they do that with us a lot. What is wrong with you? But today, the Ghetto Mobile is gone. The Ode to the Ghetto Mobile. And for those of you who may be new, The Ghetto-mobile was a 2004, my ass, hell no, 2004 Toyota Corolla that, honest to God, had about 500,000 miles on it. If it was a Ford, there's no way it would have had 500,000 miles on it.
No.
And that car, all the Ford people are like, fuck yeah.
Wow.
Ford.
Choose a better brand, dude.
That, like I said, that Corolla.
That Toyota Corolla.
Just awesome.
Yeah. It ran way past its mileage point.
It truly did. And Omega and his buddy finally got something because it had been sitting as a paperweight in the yard for 2 years. Mm-hmm. Because there wasn't anything that I could do. Right. And he fought bees for days. He and youngest kid had to fight bees and everything else. Because you can't let vehicles and things like that sit very long. Because other things are very, opportunistic.
There was a yellow jacket nest or something like that, and whatever. It was some type of bee nest that was in the ground.
Yeah, it was yellow jackets that had gone into the ground.
And they had built this gigantic nest. He filled that thing up with rubbing alcohol. Mm-hmm. Used up all our rubbing alcohol.
That's all right. We can get more.
And it still hasn't killed all the bees.
I don't know why we had some charcoal lighter, which probably the rubbing alcohol, it's probably very similar. We had some of that lamp oil, too, that for the torches out front.
I wasn't going to touch that.
Well, the problem is with the rubbing alcohol, it burns up quickly. It's not going to penetrate down into the hive where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And there's people like, don't hurt the bees. Let me tell you something.
The bees hurt us.
Absolutely. That you do not want a yellow jacket's nest near your house where people get stung, where pets are getting stung. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this was them hauling that. And then it was very, I don't want to say I was wistful, but kind of, sort of. But when Omega was cleaning, he's like, you have everything in here that you could possibly ever need. I said, yeah, because I basically lived out of that car for years.
Yeah.
I was on the road for years.
Mm-hmm.
Which is thus the, 500,000 miles. And just all the different things that vehicle transported me to. Mm-hmm. And it was home away from home, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
And for it to be gone, and I told Kid before we started recording, I'm like, was that the closing of a chapter?
Yeah. It definitely was, I think, in a way.
I think so.
Or the start to a closing of a chapter.
Or the beginning of a new one.
Yeah.
And it was something that Sky had, I'm trying to think what his esoteric astrology, I think is his thing, was discussing that yesterday. And we had already planned as far as the beginning of the week because they had to go and rent a car hauler thingy, whatever the hell that was.
A thing.
I was expecting a rollback. That's what I know. And they bring this little thing and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But it worked. And so it was a matter of different chapters closing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's no point in holding on to things that no longer serve you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And it's like, I think it's ridiculous that I know that on Kids, his pumpkin mobile had died also. Of course, after the thing had been wrecked, 5 times? Didn't we find out it was 5 times?
5 times before I got it.
No, it was 3. You did too. He's looking at me funny, but it's true.
No, I think I think my wrecks added up more onto it.
No,
maybe.
It was 5 total. I'm almost positive.
Well, if it was 5 total, then that's definitely that car's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a Dodge.
I mean, the only wreck that I had in it wasn't really my fault. Dude was in the middle of the road and wouldn't get out.
Well, this is why in a split second, everything can change.
And the other one was black ice. That wasn't my fault either.
I had just said, please be careful. There's black eyes.
And I was.
Standing there in the kitchen, making coffee, more than likely. Saw him pull back in the driveway, and it's just like, okay. And he's like, I hit black ice. It's like, no shit. I have learned it takes a lot to make me panic. It truly, truly does. But it's like the Ghetto Mobile, it just, and trying to get somebody to come and get a car for you. But they got basically nothing. I think he said he got, like, as far as scrap the cars, on one was $200, which is nothing.
That was on my car that you said that was $200.
So hopefully he definitely worked for that money. He definitely worked for it.
He did.
So the ode to the Ghetto Mobile, it will always live in our hearts.
It will. It will.
And so the Dash Squid is now in the oldest kid mobile, and oldest kid had already told Mom, he's like, I'm never getting my car back, and she's like, no, because he hadn't driven it. It was sitting as a paperweight there.
Yeah.
So when Ghetto Mobile died, it's just
get
like,
his car back at some point.
Well, you know. So now this is a 2011. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I was asking Kid over there today, I said, is this a 2011 or 2012? He's like, it's a 2011. Why? I said, it would be. It just would be.
Mine's a 2000.
It's okay. It's okay. And it's like, just the passage of time. And there was a part that's sort of kind of wistful, but there was a part that's just like ready to move on. And I think that's how a lot of people are feeling right now. They're ready to move on.
Yeah.
It's like we feel like we've been
true.
in this holding pattern for forever. And it's almost like shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
And it's like this constant sort of Damocles, this constant tension. Everybody is wore the fuck out.
Yeah. Yes. Very much. Just fed the fuck up.
Yeah. And I think that this, I mean, we don't know what it's doing to us on a psychological level, on a spiritual level. You know, you cannot live in chronic stress for that long. And we had something about that several cups back, about that was one of these MK Ultra type things, just to try to get people to mentally break. You know?
Well, yeah, it's working, ain't it?
On some people. That's where you refocus and you look at the positive and stuff like that. The positive today was that after going to the City of Food and being very unhappy with their potato selection, turned to a little corner and there was this ginormous 50-pound bag of spuds. And they had these big roaster size.
They did.
And it was only $12.99.
Yeah.
And some of the one potato, and there was other ones in there, it's like that, large enough where Kid and I could half it and eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was damn
It's a
good.
potato. So we're still grounding. We're still grounding. Because we got until
I still
July
need
25th.
to touch grass.
Well, you can do that tomorrow. Just don't get out there where the yellow jackets are.
I'm setting that. It's too dark now, or else I would have already set it on fire again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that everything has been so dry that
I would just
have to
douse
wait
the
on
inside of it with bee spray or something.
Yeah. Well, anyhow.
But I don't want it. I don't feel like getting stung right now.
I don't know that there's ever a day that somebody wakes up and goes, I would like to go into a swarm of bees.
Apparently Omega does.
God love
God.
him. He's had a hell of a week. He really, really has had a hell of a week.
He has.
And prayers for him, please, because God love him. We don't know what
Please
we do
pray for
without
healing
him.
on him.
Yeah, he's got some really serious health issues.
Yeah.
And anytime he comes up here and works and stuff, it's just more stress.
Mm-hmm.
What was it he was doing today? And I'm like, I know what it was. He was going to plug in the electric cord. And instead of him saying, hey, do you have a step stool? He had stepped in the middle of this. Do you know those folding camping chairs?
It's basically a glorified butterfly. Do you remember the butterfly chairs?
Yeah.
It's basically like that.
And it's like, I saw him plug into the, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Literally, it's like, what the fuck you doing? Get down from there.
Step stools. All you had
You're
to do
already
was
unsteady.
ask. It's like, do I need more stress? All I need, do not be busting your head on the concrete up here.
Yeah.
But he lived. They got the Ghetto mobile is gone. The pumpkin mobile is gone.
Freaked us both out, though, when he stepped on that chair.
Yeah. Thank God that, God blessed us. That car, and we were provided as far as people, most of them tried to take care of us while that thing was rolling.
Yeah.
I have miracle stories of that car, such as the one that I had gone from here to West Tennessee. Mm-hmm. That was 8 and 9 hours drive one way. And somebody was supposed to check my tires, make sure that everything was okay on that. I come home and a person looks at it and he's like, do you understand that there is this huge bulge on that one tire?
And it's like, no, I didn't.
Well, your son that was supposed to be a mechanic was supposed to be the one that had looked at this before I left.
Yeah.
And so that was just a miracle that I did not have a blowout someplace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just
That's
like
some scary shit right there.
Oh God, the stories we could tell.
We've had wires showing on the tires.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just been incredible. And as we would have people to patch it back together, and as long as the CD player worked, I was good. As far as the wiring harness, the lights and stuff like that, oh my God. Mm-hmm.
We've had to replace the CD player on that car. You've had to replace
just
it.
the once.
Yeah, just the once. Because the original did start to skip out and just not.
Yeah, because we had wore it out. We definitely got our money's worth out of that.
Yeah.
So final thoughts on the ode to the Ghetto Mobile.
R.I.P. Ghetto Mobile. We will miss you.
Well, it's just so that you served us well.
Yeah, you did us well.
So if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, if you too would like to leave an ode to a vehicle that served you well, put that in the comment section. That, or you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's there in the description box. What?
I had a piece of my car break off today.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault
This
either.
is the newest, oldest one he's got.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it used. I didn't understand why it had a bra on the front of it. Turns out that bra was to hide. There, by the way, it's not like one of the bras that y'all women wear. It is a car bra. I found out real quickly why they put that car bra on there, because as soon as I saw the car firsthand, I was like, yeah, I'm taking that off first thing when I get it back home. It has certainly been wrecked too.
Yeah.
Headlights busted in it. There is a dent in the hood of it.
Yeah, it gives
the grill is cracked up. The dash is broken. The air conditioning vents are falling out of it.
Ah, lovely.
One's already fell out on me.
Well, it's a matter of trying to Appalachian engineer all the stuff. Well, that was like in the Ghetto Mobile. I had backed into a bulldozer one time on Halloween night. And the guy that was the real estate agent I was with, he said, that sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. And I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I backed into a trash can in the satellite pole in our yard.
Oh, God.
We had a metal trash can at the time, and it was strapped to it.
Yeah.
And I backed into that with the orange mobile.
Oh, Lord.
The pumpkin mobile.
Mm-hmm. All kinds of things.
We both have
laugh.
interesting stories
Absolutely.
with our vehicles.
Absolutely. So, final.
I want a Beetle. I want a Beetle.
Do your outro. I've already done the one thing, and then we're quitting, and then we
I want a
started
Beetle.
up again.
I want a Beetle. Actually, no. My dream car would be a 1959 Thunderbird.
Nobody could
Piano
afford
black.
the gas.
Piano black. Thank you for joining us. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, share. Follow her on BitChute and Rumble. Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter. Rolanda COCWS. Yeah. Have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.